Hi YouTubers, this is Working for Cookies. Anyways, I want to do a part two to a video I did before. What should you do if you're thinking about working for Uber or doing any other kind of ride share or food delivery, that kind of thing, and what kind of vehicle should you buy? I talked about maybe buying a vehicle outright, brand new, or trying to lease it. Um, there's many options you can take. You do the kind of the best option that works for you in your situation. Um, for me, it went sideways, and I ended up buying a used vehicle. Whether I don't know, I'm still thinking maybe I should have bought a new vehicle and just financed it. But my credit rating is not that great for being self-employed all my life. It's kind of hard to get credit for different things. But I can I can finance $100,000 tractor, but I can't afford to buy but I can't finance or even get a lease on a $30,000 car. Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense, does it? So I ended up buying a used car, but these dealerships get you if you. I mean, a lot of people say you should either go to your bank and try to get a finance deal. If you have good credit, sure, in the bank, if it's a good bank, they'll help you out. But I deal with a bank here in my area that's not so good. They never want to help me do anything. They just want to take my money. So you're better off dealing with a credit union of some sort, and at least they'll try to help you out. But these dealerships try to scam you, and they try to tell you they're financing stuff, and they give you all sorts of figures, and you kind of have to figure what kind of plan works for you. And they play little games, right? And they say, "Oh, buy bi-weekly payments and such." And I kind of figured out what the game they're playing, and just I kind of scratched my head and thought, well, this is not going to work. And in the end, it didn't work anyway, because they owned a couple of dealerships, and they want to know everything, right? They want to know everything about you, and I'm hesitant to give them too much information, right? I mean, if you go to a dealership and if you do a check on you, right, and most dealerships, what they'll do is they'll run a check on you and see if you have any liens on you, how your credit rating looks, and if credit rating looks good, they'll give you a car, right? Just there's no ifs, ands about it. But if you have some problems in the past, like a missed late fees on your phone bill, late fees on your power bill, blah blah blah, you know how that is. It's hard to make everyone happy. Then they get you, and it's got me in the past too, because I've been in trouble that way, and it's hard to keep everything going in the flow when your income is, you know, you get paid, but you don't get paid on a steady basis. So and that's how I've always been that way. Even though I have a good job now, it still get paid when the company wants to pay. So, anyways, you really have to do your homework and decide what you want and what you can afford. And this is something I've always been taught all my life: is you buy what you can afford. So, I mean, in reality, I should have just bought a brand new car. That's what it boils down to. Um, Less hassle, less grief. You buy it outright; it's yours. You don't have to worry about payments. But um, lease is always there, but you need to have the income, right? Like making payments on a vehicle, financing it, and or doing leasing. You have to make sure you have the money available, right? And if you can afford to buy it outright, cash, buy it outright. Go to your bank, or if you have the money in your bank account, just buy the vehicle outright if you can, right? Because it's not really worth financing. You can, and there's ways and systems you can do if you research enough, where you can figure out a way to if you have the money, basically put a big lump sum on the purchase price, right? You finance the rest of it. Maybe you finance maybe $10,000, and you figure out a way how to, speed up a little bit, and you save the money, and you pay that the rest of your finance charges within a year. Then you're further ahead. But we don't. We no one ever goes that way. Leasing was a option, but the problem with doing a ride share or food delivery, that kind of thing, you rack up the miles in your car pretty fast. If you're in a position where you can buy a new vehicle and you rack up the car up to 200,000 K, and you then trade it in and see if you get something like a Toyota or a Honda, you know you're going to get a good value on that car on a trade-in, right? I mean, I've seen Toyotas and Hondas with 200,000 K still selling for half of the price of what was new. So you know that that vehicle is going to be still worth something at 200,000 K, and you trade it in and get a new one. But it's money, 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 right? So many factors to think about, and I think you're just best off just buying what you can afford. And with these apps, you never know if you're going to get booted off or not. And and the other thing I was thinking about too is with the vehicle situation is if you end up buying a used vehicle, you're almost better off having two used vehicles, because if one breaks down, then you have the other one to drive. And this is where it comes down to. When you have a used vehicle, because it's going to break down, you don't know when, but it will. And then when it breaks down, then you're out the money. And if you can't afford to buy a new car, and your main vehicle breaks down, you're screwed, right? If you're doing this on a part-time or full-time basis, right? So if you live in a small area, it does not pay to you can't do it full time, because there's not enough work there. You have to go into the city, right? And even then, there's so much competition. So it's a numbers game, numbers game. So if you're in an area where there's not a lot of competition, well then yeah, sure, you can go out and buy a brand new vehicle and use your ride share or your food delivery income to pay for that vehicle, which was my thought. But I couldn't get the numbers to work, and it didn't work out the way I wanted it to. And if everything had gone smoothly and I had got a option on the lease, yeah, I would have had a brand new Honda in the back and sitting in my yard there, and I would have been running it full time. I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you guys. I'd be running it with Uber or whatever, because there's big money to be made in the after hours. I know it's the shits, but you need to protect yourself, and the only way to do that is by having a barrier behind your seat to do rides at night, because the likely chance of getting stuck with an asshole passenger who's drunk or who's a drug addict or something, they can pull a knife on you, cut your throat, and you're gone. You take your car and that's it, right? But if you have a barrier, which I still might do, but a plexiglass barrier behind the seat, and there's no chance of someone trying to do that to you. But it's just food for thought. So anyways, you can do what you want, but I suggest having this buy a vehicle outright if you can afford it, and don't have to think about payments, and buy something almost new. And leasing is always an option, but you have to make sure you have steady income, and same with financing, steady income. And if you need to, have two vehicles, and when one breaks down, you have the other one to drive. And at least for the amount of money you'd pay for a new vehicle, you can probably have 2 or 3 used vehicles kicking around, as spares, and there you have it. So anyways, thanks for watching. If you find this information helpful, give me a thumbs up, subscribe. I was trying to bring new content to you guys for you guys to listen to. I'm new at this, on this kind of thing. I've been around cars all my life, so I kind of know a thing or two, and I'm always trying to get ahead in life like everyone else is, because everything's uncertain. Anyways, thanks for watching. Bye for now.